It's been 1 year since the Windrush scandal revealed that incorrect paperwork meant people who had moved to Britain decades ago from colonies, mainly in the Caribbean, had been denied the right to work, receive medical care or even live here. Although citizenship and compensation have been offered to the victims, many of them say it still doesn't replace the years of their lives lost from the system, as our Community Affairs correspondent Adina Campbell reports.
I've literally lost everything. I have this anxiety now of going anywhere and being rejected.
Winston Walker came to the UK from Jamaica in the 1960s when he was 18 months old. But for the last 10 years, life's been miserable. He's been made homeless, jobless, and plans to marry called off.
Isolation, even thoughts of suicide and things like that. You're ashamed to say, just despair, really.
After losing his home and job, Winston was forced to move around, eventually ending up in Bristol, where his friend Tamara became one of the only people he could talk to.
It's heartbreaking for me to think that, having lived and worked so hard all his life, by the time he got to Bristol, he was literally homeless.
Winston finally got his British citizenship 6 months ago, but it hasn't eased the pain.
I don't even think that it was given with an open heart. It was only given because it was the situation was exposed.
I was the one who was going to be put on that plane. I'll never forget it.
Paulette Wilson was on the brink of being deported 18 months ago, even though she came to the UK as a child and worked for more than 30 years. The 63-year-old grandmother was also held for a week in a detention centre, hours away from her daughter and the rest of her family in Wolverhampton.
The feeling that I felt to know that she was going back to Jamaica after 50 years and I probably wouldn't see her for a year or so. It's a feeling that I don't like to think about it.
And you were away from your family for a week, by yourself, isolated?
I couldn't eat.
None of us could.
Couldn't sleep. It was terrible.
Can you close that chapter?
That chapter, I don't think it'll ever be closed in my mind, because it wasn't just me that's going through certain things. There's a lot of people, as my daughter said, a lot of people have died through this thing.
1 year on since the Windrush scandal was exposed, the Home Office recently announced more details about its compensation scheme for victims. Its estimated payouts could cost more than £200 million. How do you feel about the way the government has handled this since the full scale of the crisis first emerged?
There's no price you can put on my life. And compensation ain't going to make my life that better anyway. So there's no price on my life. That's it.
Adina Campbell, BBC News.